Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how I built this floating drawer. I had some leftover plywood from my office project, which was just enough to build this 4-foot wide drawer. Now follow me and let's get started. Using this track saw, I cut out 48 inches by 16 inches at a 45-degree angle. This is for the top piece of the drawer. So I wanted this thing to be comfortable to sit on, in between 15 and 18 inches tall. Since this is a floating drawer, you want to factor in how high you want it off the ground and still be comfortable to sit down on. After this, I used wood glue and nailed in the side pieces. Here I made the inside frame by measuring equal distance for 3 drawers. Just like that, and now the drawer is finally beginning to take its form. The final part of this frame is this bottom piece. I made sure everything was about equal distance before I glued and nailed it in. I was not planning on having a back piece because I was short on material, but that's totally up to you if you want to do that. I used wood putty to cover up the holes that were visible from the nails, and I sanded down the area smooth so you can't tell really where they are. Then I wanted to see how this would look when it's attached to the wall. So I have it sitting right on the trim, and I used these metal angles which were screwed into the wall and the drawer itself. Then I did a weight test and it holds me fine. With it sitting on the trim and attached to the studs, it feels pretty secure. So that was the easy part, so now it's time to make the actual drawers. The outside frame was made with 3/4 inch plywood, but for the inside drawers I am using 1/2 inch plywood. To determine the width of the drawer, I placed the hardware inside and I used 2 pieces of plywood to measure the distance between them, and that is the width I needed for the drawer. Is there a better way to do it? Probably, but that's just how I did it. Once I had the 4 sides of the drawer cut out, I cut out a 1/4 inch groove at the bottom of each piece using a table saw. That way this 1/4 inch plywood would fit inside the grooves and be at the base of the drawer. Then I went ahead and assembled it with wood glue and using a nail gun. I always tape the corner prior to gluing the pieces together, which gives it really good alignment. Once the box is assembled, I use 1/2 inch plywood and set it at the bottom. Then I put the sliders on the side, using 2 pieces of plywood to align it to the front. After that, I pull open the slider and mark where the holes are visible. Carefully drill small holes and screw in the hardware. Next, I put the box in. I pushed it in about 1/2 inch deep and I used a piece of plywood to see that it was flush. Then you can take a pencil and mark where the sliders start, carefully pull it out and drill the holes to attach the drawer. I repeated all those steps for the remaining drawers and this is what I have now. Then I checked to make sure they are properly functioning, and what's left is to cut out the faces. The easiest way I figured to do this was to lay the box on the front and then just trace out the inside with a pencil. After I cut those pieces out, I tested them for fitment and they were all really tight, snug fit, so I had to sand the sides in order to make them fit easier. Next, I used the double-sided stick tape and playing cards method. I put 2 pieces of tape on the box and carefully aligned the face without it touching the tape. Then I would evenly place playing cards to even the gaps. Once I felt like the gaps were even enough, I would just push forward the face to make it stick to the tape. Then I pulled the drawer out and drilled holes. I removed the tape before screwing in the face to the drawer. The faces are now attached, but I did not want to have any kind of handles on this. So I attached these magnetic push-to-open mechanisms. Please take note, I did have to remove the rubber soft close pieces in the sliders for this to work properly. Otherwise, they just kind of get in the way of each other and doesn't close right. So then I attached this thing back to the wall and tested it out, see how it works, put some shoes in there, and I'm happy. I want to also mention that yes, I would definitely do things differently if I were to go out and buy the material for this project. But the whole purpose of this drawer was to make a nice addition to the entryway using just the remaining materials that I had left from the office project. And keeping that in mind, I think it turned out pretty good. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you want to see more videos like this one, hit that like button, subscribe, and check out my channel. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one.